This is an older Profoto pack. It's 1200 watt seconds. It's called an Acute 2, and it is something that I've recently picked up. I actually have a couple of these. Surprisingly, I got them about a week apart. The other one is also an Acute pack, but it's an alpha. It's doesn't have as many features as this pack has. But I have never had a chance to use Profoto equipment, and now that I'm using it a little bit, I really, really enjoy it. And I was also surprised that it was relatively inexpensive, considering the stuff that I picked up. So, my name's Steve. I'm an amateur photographer. I enjoy using old strobe equipment and old grip equipment. I've had a chance to work with Speedotron and Bowens and Photogenic, and now these Acute packs. And also, I have a couple of their monoblocks, 600 watt monoblocks by Profoto. So, with a pack, you're basically, of this age at least, you're basically going to be slowing down a little bit just to dial in the power that you want. So on this one, you can plug in three flash heads. The flash heads are incredibly well made, and the way that you mount soft boxes or any kind of modifier to them is really ingenious as well. And the the top is really the business end of a pack, and here you have a whole series of buttons and dials that need to be turned in order to dial in the power setting or the wattage that you want to get. So this is a 1200 watt pack, and you can go all the way from 1200 watts down to about 19 watts. If you want just one head, that would be using all three heads. If you want just one head, you can go from 1200 watts all the way down to about 38 watts. So as a reference, a standard speed light is 60 watt seconds. So take a standard speed light, put it at 50%, and that's the power that you can get out of this at its lowest setting with just one lamp. The way this thing kind of works is there are some dials at the top for modeling lights and adjusting the power of the modeling lights. The modeling lights on these old Acute heads are quartz, so they tend to get pretty hot. Down at the bottom is how you control the power output. So there's an A channel and a B channel. The A channel has one socket. The B channel can be split between two sockets. And then for either A or B, you can set it to full power. That's the little white circle that's solid. You can set it to quarter power or to half power. And likewise, you can do the same for the B channel. And between both A and B, you can take it down two stops. That's the bracket dial that's on the right next to the sync port. The other way that you control this power is by either using it in synchronous mode or using it in, I guess it's called symmetrical mode or asymmetrical mode. So that would be connecting the A plus B channel or isolating the A and the B channel. So A plus B connected would be the A plus B on that middle switch, and then isolated would be the two arrows, one pointing to the A and one pointing to the B. And there is a chart, at least the one that I got has a chart that is affixed to the side. So that's fortunate because it is, really interesting to figure out how to get the power setting to where you want it to go. I'm sure you can look up the chart online and print it out. But the other big takeaway I would say on this pack is that if you cut the power in half, you go down exactly a stop. And I've measured it with a couple of light meters. And the other thing that's interesting to me is as I've changed the power settings or output, the color temperature stays incredibly consistent. And I see that when I bring it into Lightroom and can see the temperature setting that's showing up in Lightroom. So that I guess shouldn't be a surprise. This was, Profoto makes high-end equipment. Some of their equipment is actually things you would get in a rental studio. Um, this pack is relatively small. It's relatively lightweight. I like the fact that the heads or the lamps are lightweight because they don't have the capacitors built in. So it makes it easier to put it on a light stand, at least for me. And I also like the fact that when I'm working with, I like to do still life and product type photography. When I'm doing that, I like to have the power settings on a table or on the floor instead of trying to make adjustments, let's say on the back of a monoblock. So, these are great. I have, like I said, never had a chance to use them before. I always thought they'd be too prohibitive. Likewise, the modifiers, the soft boxes that I got with this are just super nice. The grid that I got is super nice. It's everything that you've heard about it plus more. So my view on using this equipment is that if you're willing to take a little bit of time, and if you're willing to take a little bit of time to find it, it's a really good bargain. And that would go for the other equipment that I've made the videos on, whether it's Bowens or Speedotron or Photogenic.